sitting here looking out my main living room window. It's a beautiful, sunny, clear sky day. I look out and see that blue water of the ocean. It's Monday morning. This is episode 3, and I want to talk to you about money. I want to talk to you about my money, my budget. A lot of YouTubers like to talk about how cheap it is to live in Ecuador. Very few will actually share their finances with you, but I will. I'll tell you what it's been like for the first 6 months. I got to tell you, I keep very meticulous records about everything I do. I keep a journal, a daily journal. I keep a spreadsheet that of all my spending. It's a spreadsheet that I use in Google Sheets. I've been using it for, 2 or 3 years now. I have formulas in there. I get one sheet that gives me the totals from the previous months. I break down everything, and I can tell you what I've spent on everything since I've been here. But I'm just going to work with this year. I'll give you the numbers for this year because it's been quite interesting. So like I said, I use Google Sheets, and every month I start off with a new clean sheet. I just copy the one from the previous month and wipe out all the numbers, and that's kind of the way I do it, But so here's everything that's in my budget, okay? I have rent, electricity, gas, water, internet, cell phone, maintenance, household goods, house cleaning, laundry, insurance, health insurance, car, groceries, beer and wine. Yeah, you heard it right, beer and wine. Medical, doctor, clinic, medical prescription, transport gas, transport taxi, subscriptions, entertainment/fun, dining out, credit card debt, giving tips, and then miscellaneous. I know a lot of you are going to laugh about the miscellaneous part, but I do have a miscellaneous category because sometimes I buy something that I don't really have a category for. So for this year, 2024, I pay $700 a month for rent, okay? It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment here in the Masaya Lago area of Manta, close to the mall. It's not beachfront. It's what's called an ocean view apartment. There's a street in front of me, and there's another row of apartments that go left and right in front of me, but I look over them. Back on the budget. I apologize for that. I know. Stick with what you're going to talk about, Don. But I pay $700 a month. I have been since I've been here. They wanted $800, but as you've heard, you can negotiate for everything here. I negotiated for my rent by just saying, hey, I'll pay you 6 months in advance if you'll give me a break on it, and that's the way we started the talks. And the landlord agreed. We both agreed that she would knock $100 off, and I would only pay $700 a month. Now, I do have to pay for my electric bill. She was providing my internet service, but it was 5 meg service. So I tolerated that for about 2 days and then said, no, that's not going to cut it. And so I politely told her she can keep her internet service and I'll just get my own and pay for it. So I pay a little extra for internet. I pay $35.58 a month. That's what I pay for my internet, and I have 500 meg internet, fiber right to my modem. So the way I do my spreadsheet is I each month I track everything I spend. I have a section on my spreadsheet where I have income, and I have the rest of it's all outgoing. There's obviously more outgoing items than there are income. I have Social Security. I have investment returns that I'm not going to talk about. That's personal. And I don't really count it as income, but I do get all my sales tax back. And let me just clarify on that. When I say I get all of my sales tax back, I mean I get all of my sales tax up to a total of $110 a month. Anything over that, I have to basically wait until the next month to get it. So they only pay me back up to $110 of my sales tax that I pay. It's called IVA tax that I pay during the month here. And the reason why they do this is because I'm over 65. For those of you that don't know it, if you live here in Ecuador and you're over 65, there's a lot of perks. You get discounts on things, you get front of the line status, you get half price on all local airfare. That means South American airfare, and that's about it. And you get your sales tax back. But I don't really count that as income, but I do show it as coming back into the pot, so to speak. And I'm not a financial guru, so I'm sure that there are plenty of people that are going to tell me that that's the wrong way to look at it, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. So anyway, in the first 6 months of this year, my electric bill has run from as low as $7.49 to as high as $101. $101 was in May. Now, for this year, I was most of January, all of February, all of March, and the first week of April, I was in the United States. I still had, my January electric bill was $51.29. My February electric bill was $32.16. My March electric bill was $7.26. My April electric bill was $7.49. And that's just because, well, number one, the breaks that we got, the electric bill that I paid in January was for the month of December 2023. We had all these power outages, and so the government gave us a huge discount because of the power outages, which seems like kind of strange to me, because how can they give us a discount on power that we didn't have? But anyway, I still got a pretty good break in my electric bill. And then also, just so you know, from December to about May is considered the summer months here. Now May, I had a full month of May of no discounts or anything, and my electric bill, which was actually for electricity that I consumed most of April, was $101.90. So it went up a little bit. And then, of course, the wintertime hit. June, it starts cooling down, and my electric bill was $47.46. July, well, I'm going to stop at June because I'm just going to cover the first 6 months of the year. My gas is unbelievable. So far, my gas, and I'm talking cooking gas here. The landlord doesn't pay that. I pay it. And my cooking gas, my average month so far this year has been $2.75. I have a water category. That's my drinking water that I buy from the guards here at the building. The guards here at my building have their own bottled water business, and they kind of do it to make a little extra change for themselves. They charge us $1.50 for a 5-gallon jug of water. I usually give them $1 for bringing it up to me. This year, for some reason, I've been a little bit more generous, and I'd give them $5. These guys are making minimum wage. They're making like $2.90 an hour, and that's $465 a month. That's their income. So I help them out as much as I can. And then anyway, the next item was internet. And like I said, my monthly internet is $35.58. Some months it's $35.59. In the month of May, it was $36.54. June, it was $36.54. I think it went up because they raised the IVA tax. My cell phone is $23.80 a month. That's full data mode and everything, unlimited data. I have a maintenance category that I have $0 spent on. I don't know why I even have that category. Here's a good one. My house cleaning. Okay, now of course, January, February, March, I had no house cleaning. April, I had $20 for house cleaning. June, I had $40. The way it works with me for house cleaning, the lady charges me $20 to come and clean my apartment. I'm telling you, folks, she cleans it from front to back, top to bottom, sweeps and mops all the floors, changes my sheets, cleans the bathrooms, toilets, shower, sinks, everything. cleans up my kitchen, the whole works. She's usually here 4 or 5 hours, vacuums all my furniture, does an excellent job, and she only charged me $20. Some people here can pay less. There are people that will clean your house here for $15. So, but I pay $20 for mine, and the lady is really good. She works for a lot of people in this building, and I know I probably pay her more than I should, but I don't care. She does a good job. I think she deserves it. Okay. My next item is laundry. In January, my laundry bill was $6, but when I got back from the States in April, my laundry was $40. In May, my laundry was $60. In June, my laundry was $40. I pay Diana, the same lady that does my house cleaning, I pay her $20 to do my laundry. Now, let me explain that. I could probably get my laundry done for anywhere between $6 and $10 at any number of the laundry services that are here in Manta. But I'm telling you, they throw everything in the same pot. They use cold water. They use the cheapest, sorriest detergent that they can get. And I might as well just not even bother to wash my clothes as far as I'm concerned. Diana separates my whites from my colors. She bleaches my socks. She washes them separately. She washes all my colors, and she folds everything meticulously. And my socks and everything that's white comes out white. And all my colors are colorful, and she uses my laundry detergent. Now, in the building here, we have a little laundromat down in the basement, and we have to pay $2 to use a washer, $2 to use a dryer. She uses 2 washers, so that's $4. That's to do my socks and my colors. And then, of course, she uses a dryer, so that's $6. So I give her $20. She pays $6 to use the machines, and that gives her $14. It's worth every penny to me because I hate doing laundry. She brings the laundry back upstairs to me. It's folded. All I have to do is I do nothing. I just put it away and I'm done. So I'm happy about that. Beer and wine. Here goes a good one. Let me tell you, guys, there is no bargain on booze here in Ecuador. Some people think, oh, I'm going to a foreign country, I can get a break on booze, but nah, not going to happen. You'll pay the same, if not more, for alcohol here in Ecuador than you will in the United States. My beer and wine bill for the month of April was $136.05. May, it was $169.41. June, it was $119.21, and that's about what it runs every month. I mean, I'm averaging right now, so far my average for the year is $101.71 a month for beer and wine. And let me tell you, I don't drink that much. I drink, my target is 2 beers a day. I don't always make it, and I'd love to drink red wine. I drink a beer before dinner, sometimes 2, and always have a glass of wine after dinner. And then I also have somebody that helps me drink this wine. So, I pay for it. In some instances, I spend more money on beer and wine than I do on groceries. So, go figure. Medical prescriptions for the month of April, I spent $47 on medicine. But in May, I only spent $21.60. In June, I spent $34.30. And January, February, March. Well, in January, I spent $4.51. I had nothing in February and March because I had all my medicine with me that I brought from here. I was still in the States. But, so far this year, I've averaged $12.60 a month on medicine. My blood pressure medicine cost me less than $20 a month. The rest of this is incidental stuff that I've had to buy because of getting a cold or bad sore throat like I've had so many times since I've been here. Then the next category is medical, doctor, clinic. I had $0 for January, February, March. But in April, I paid $175.10 going to the doctor. In May, I had nothing. In June, I spent $55. My average so far for a medical, doctor, and clinic for monthly average is $30.43 for the year. This is for the first 6 months. Actually, that average is based on the 7 months, but I'm only telling you what I spent January to the end of July or the end of June to cover the first half of the year. Next category is transport gas. This is gasoline for my car. As many of you know, I drive a car. My January gasoline bill was $20. My February gasoline bill, which was in the United States, was $54.39. And then in March, it was $37.81. And then when I got back home to Ecuador, my car for the month was $18.75. In May, it was $20. In June, it was $37.19. Gas is $2.75 a gallon here for regular unleaded. It's gone up twice since the first of the year. The first of the year, it was $2.40 a gallon. The president, raised the IVA taxes, and so everything else went up to go along with it. I do have transport taxi. Every once in a while, I do use taxi service for special types of trips. The only expense I've had all year for taxis was in the month of April, and it was for $25. That must have been for one day or one trip. I don't even remember what it was for. Then, of course, I have subscriptions. My average monthly subscription cost is $20.51. That's my iCloud, my Adobe subscription that I have for Photoshop and Lightroom. And I did have ChatGPT in there, but I've canceled that. I don't need to spend that money for ChatGPT when I can use the free version just as effectively. Entertainment and fun. In January, my entertainment and fun was $137.37. In February, it was $97.69. March, it was $148.08. April, it was $189.15. May was $178.13. June was $205.70. Entertainment and fun is, most of that is me taking my girlfriend out to dinner, and that's mainly it. It's almost all of it is taking my girlfriend out for dinner, because I have a separate category for dining out. Now, that's the next one I want to talk about. Dining out so far this year, I've averaged $127.26 a month. In January, my dining out expenses, and keep in mind, I didn't go to the States until the 15th of January. My dining out in January was $324.03. Thank you, United States. Thank you, corporate America, for gouging me to satisfy your record profits in your greed. February, I slowed down. In February, it was down to $179.70. March, it was $248.16. April, I'm back home now, is $189.15. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. $243.15. And then in the month of May, I spent $133.11. In the month of June, I spent $102.99. This is me going to breakfast in places like that, dining out. That also includes tips. No, that doesn't include tips. That's just dining out plus the IVA taxes. Credit card debt, I spent $100 a month on credit card debt. Finally, in the month of June, I woke up and I looked at my credit card statement. I think I had a balance of $1,400 and something on the one credit card that I keep active, my Amazon Visa card. Chase Bank, I keep it active just so I can just keep my credit score up and so forth. But anyway, I've just been paying $100 a month, and I finally got smart and I looked to see how much I've been paying in interest for the year, and I've spent, so far for the first 6 months, I've spent $152 in interest to Chase Bank assholes. Well, actually, I'm the asshole for being dumb enough to carry a balance. So I pay $1,000 off of it, and I won't be paying that high interest rate anymore. And I'm gonna pay it off. I have a balance of around almost $400. I'm gonna pay it off next month. And I'm gonna stop that shit. So credit card debt is no good, folks. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm telling you, credit card debt is no damn good. Giving in tips, I've spent on an average of $33 a month on tips. My most expensive months this year on tips was when I was in the United States. January, February, March, $54.43. January, $45.06 February, $90.50 for March. Then of course April I got back here, it's down to $48.67. May is $44.90. June, $50.90. I'm going to do a separate podcast on tipping. That's a very controversial topic around here, and I've got a lot to say about it. So I'm going to share that with you in a later podcast, or maybe I'll do a YouTube video about it. Then I'm not going to talk about my miscellaneous expenses because they're not really part of my budget. The way I do my budget is I know exactly what I got coming in for the month. I estimate what my budget's going to be for each of these items, and what's left over I set aside and call that miscellaneous. And then I always have a bunch left over, so then that's what I carry over and put in my emergency fund. So that's it. That's my numbers so far for this year. You know, a lot of people say you can go to Ecuador and live on $500 a month. Ah, bullshit. You can go to Ecuador and live on $1,000 a month. Well, yeah, you can. You're not going to have an ocean view. You probably won't have hot water. If you drink, you're not going to live on $1,000 a month. You know, to be realistic, folks, for a single person, $1,500 a month is pretty reasonable. You know, so I average. If I look at I'm going to go right through from January to June, and here's what I spent each month, all total. This includes miscellaneous items: $26.61.99 for January, $29.96.18 for February, $3,463 for March. I don't know what happened that month. And then April, $3,301. May, $3,091.50. June, $3,011. That's it. That's what I've spent. Now, a good portion of each of those numbers is miscellaneous expenses. I'm not going to talk about miscellaneous expenses. A lot of it is charity. A lot of it is just stuff that I end up buying for myself, gifts for my girlfriend, and so forth. But I'm still, for the year right now, I'm ahead by $14,671.52. So I'm not really worried. It is cheaper to live in South America. It is cheaper to live in Ecuador than it is in the United States. And I live a pretty decent life. I don't sit at home and do nothing all the time. So that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.